for comment like that.
Yeah, I agree with
I know
Vin.
songs that got dope verses. I just can't really like ramble them off, the way I can some other artists.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I had to print out a book today at my job. That's the only good thing is good for is free paper and ink. So I got my verses right.
Damn.
So we'll bang it out. Y'all ready to rock?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all tune into Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me tonight. I got my man DJ Rec One. What's up, Rec?
What's going on, man?
Oh man, everything is everything, man. What's going on with you, Veg?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Happy to be here talking about this common guy.
All right. No doubt, no doubt. All through social media this week, we still, saluting the death of Prodigy and everything like that. And I was seeing stuff about, give people they roses while they're here and everything like that. And for people who don't know or maybe new, we always been doing that. We've done shows on 3000 or Primo. My big thing is to give MCs, producers, hip-hop, or hip-hop legends, the foundation of this culture we love, they props while they're here. So I don't want nobody thinking we just doing this now, anything like that. We did, 2 weeks ago with P. But this week, we salute one of my favorite MCs. Most people don't even realize this, B. This dude has been around for 25 years in hip-hop, man. This dude has 11 albums out. Not too many folk in hip-hop get past. I want to say maybe the average is 4 or 5, maybe. That'd be pushing it. This dude has 11 albums out. I'm talking about Common Sense from the City of Wind, one of my favorite MCs. So we're going to be chopping it up today about some of our favorite joints, versus another one of my questions is, who y'all think is one of the dopest producers that Com rocks with? Because he's had his share of producers here and there, so we're going to chop it up about that. And again, as always, where he falls to our top 25 list, if he makes your 25 list or whatever like that. So that's what we're going to be chopping it up. Rec, tell me this, man. When did you first know that the boy Com was nasty? Like, this was somebody to check for?
Oh, man. When he first came out, I was rocking with Com Sense since day one, man. Sold by the Pound. I love that album. Or the single, and that's what got me to just jump on. He had the B-side on Sold by the Pound. I've been a fan since day one, honestly, man, when he was rocking the starter jackets and everything, man. So that's when I knew he was a problem. Day one.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. We got my man Vince who just joined in. What's good with you, Vince?
All right, what up, fellas? Yeah, I agree with what Rex said. From day one, he had a little style about him, and you could see he was going to be what he is now. So yeah.
All right, no doubt. So y'all was rocking with him from day one. Hey, what about you?
For me, I always recognized Common Sense as one of the dope rappers, but I wasn't really like a fan like that until probably one day it will all make sense. That's when I was kind of like, I think it's time to start buying some Common albums. But I used to love it was the one that really caught my attention though. When I heard that, and I think when I saw the video, that was the first time I heard the record. And watching the video, listening to the lyrics, and I was like, wow, this dude is, breaking down hip hop. Girl, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you've been in the game so long.
Ray breaking up on your end?
Yes.
All right. Let's see if I can come back in here. All right, let me see if I can get him back.
Man, is there anything like the rest of us can do to help it where it won't mess up, or it's just what it is?
Nah, it's different things, man. It's everybody's Wi-Fi is different. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
One day Gary was on here, it was a storm. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, shoot, I'm lucky. I live north enough in Houston where the storms don't really affect me.
Right.
You
You know.
You said for a minute.
Shoot, we were supposed to come through NO a couple weeks back, man. I was gonna hit you up.
You know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go though. We didn't go. That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't tell you about it.
Yeah, Essence is coming,
Yeah,
man. A lot of
yeah,
people's gonna be in town soon, man.
Yeah, I
Oh
didn't.
no, man, I ain't messing with that, man.
to try to you know, jump on.
Well, see, it ain't necessarily Essence in itself, but it's everything that's going on around Essence. See, like I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, unless you really wanted to go to Essence itself. But like
Yeah.
if you go to the stuff that's around Essence, I think you enjoy that more. I think, in my opinion.
No, that's gonna have to be a trip for another time, another year, man.
Yeah,
I ain't messing with it. with it. So I'm gonna be in San Antonio for about a good month and a half. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I gotta go for school, man. Get this promotion real quick.
Man, there ain't nothing in San Antonio but that damn river walk, man.
Oh yeah, that and some fine ass Mexicans. That's it.
I had some good food in San Antonio, though.
Oh yeah, the food, man. The food is insane, absolutely insane. But like Kill said, man, it ain't. That's why we didn't pick to go back to San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of the three choices that we made with the state of Texas, Dallas we wasn't messing with. I mean, if we want to deal with some guns, we go home for that. And San Antonio, we already been there, done that, so we wasn't trying to go back to it.
Oh, Dallas is wild?
Yo. I was in Alaska, man, and I met up with a couple of Dallas niggas, man. Them niggas, they let me know Dallas was wild, man. Like, every time they come in the club, what up, Rec? What up, Rec? Play my shit. Play my, like, they was wild, you know, like a pack of wild animal wild. They wasn't like on no beef shit, but they was just wild.
Right.
And they used to tell me all the time, man, yeah, man, we get it. We get it. And then when, I forget the rapper's name, man, but he had a couple joints. And that's when Dallas was like getting on the map as far as hip hop was concerned. So, you know,
hold on for a sec, right? Ben, if you can, maybe try to reset your router too, because it's like the third time we lost you.
Yeah.
I'm back in with what you need.
Maybe reset your router, because it's like the third time you dropped out on it.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Let me check
Just
it.
reset it and then come back on.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Dallas niggas is wild, man. They
What?
wild. Yeah, man. They wild. I mean, they just it's just that Houston, you got a really, really, really diverse crowd. No matter where you are in Houston, it's diverse.
Okay.
San Antonio, nah. San Antonio is like going to like Kensington, where it's all white,
Right.
but trashy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how San Antonio is. So the Mexicans that's there, like most Mexicans down here, is different than the ones back home that they know they're a minority. It ain't like that. So the ones here, the ones that got a little bit of money or some type of affluent lifestyle, they want to be white. So they that's what they identify with. They'll look at you and be like, nigga, and move to the side.
Wow.
But the ones that are just as normal everyday man like you and me, it's cool. It's like you back home.
Okay, that's what's up.
But we didn't really want to get down with that. San Antonio, nah, man, I didn't want that. So here where we at, man, it's like how you were saying with Nay. Like, we got a nice little spot, little 3-bedroom joint, But if I go 3 miles to the east,
Right.
it's $500,000 cribs.
Okay.
And where I'm at is just normal everyday working guys. Now the houses out here, 100,000, 200,000, some 300,000, but everybody out here working. What's up, baby girl?
The TV doesn't work.
All right, turn it off and turn it back on. Okay.
It doesn't work. I tried.
Talk to DJ. All right.
It's asleep.
Oh God. All right. I'll look at it later. All right. But it's totally different, the mentality in San Antonio, man. Totally different.
I can believe it, man.
I ain't want no parts of that, yo. No parts. So that's why we was like, yo, we just gonna do Houston, and that's gonna be where we're gonna lay our head.
All right, that's what's up. And how long will you be stationed out there for?
Well, I'm here. My duty assignment is here for 3 years.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna put in this social worker packet. If that goes through, then I go to San Antonio for like 18 months to finish up my master's. That's gonna keep me in Texas, and I can kind of politic some shit. Right. So with that, there's a base about 2.5 hours from here. If I can get that, then I'm good. I'll do the 2.5 hour drive on the weekends. I'll come home, and then after that, that'll push me to like 15 years. I can flex the last 5.
Okay, that's what's up.
I can flex the last 5. I just got to get to where I'm at, like 14, 15. Once I do that, I'll be okay. I can flex the last 5 because I don't really want to move the kids from where they at, man. They getting adjusted. They love the area. I mean, shit. What's the girl that won the medals? The little short girl won the medals for gymnastics.
I know who you're talking about.
Where she goes and practices.
Mm-hmm.
I could walk there and be there in 30 seconds. And she's there all the time. And they just be like, hey, how you doing? And she be like, hey. She keep it moving. Like, ain't nobody starstruck out here. So that's the good thing. Like, everybody just chill.
Right. That's what's up. Greg, what do you think of the whole Migos Joe Budden thing?
Migos Joe Budden?
Yeah.
I kind of blame Joe Budden for that and the Lil Yachty shit because he's just coming in these fucking interviews with these niggas he don't fuck with.
Yes.
Straight angry.
Yes.
And it's making him look unprofessional. Like, I know he has to do it. And I heard that Migos is like they're a bad interview because they barely open their mouth. They barely answer questions. Shit.
Right.
And he can check his frustrations and maybe some of that shit's for the podcast. But yeah, I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, whatever. Niggas ain't throwing punches, man.
I'm just man. I'm trying to see how long it'll be before somebody does punch him. Like how
it's coming.
How the Wu handled him.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming because honestly,
it's coming.
That's probably why Migos was sitting up there mumbling because they was like, "Yo, this dude say anything out of pocket."
Right.
You know.
I'm telling you, man.
Ready to go.
It's coming. He been. I don't not disrespect them. I respect them as kids coming up in the game. I don't fuck with their music, but I respect their grind. These kids, man, don't give a fuck. They'll go to jail. They'll take a charge. They don't care. They don't care. That's not. That's not. They don't even look at it as a badge of honor. It's like, nigga, you disrespect me, I got something for you. They don't. Yeah. They're not like us when we came up, where that line of respect had to be totally crossed before you went to put hands on somebody. Well, like, they just don't care.
I just hope Joe Budden ain't going to Atlanta no time soon, because then the next day you want to talk.
He in Philly. He in Philly right now.
Yeah, well, he don't need to go back to Atlanta. So
he still got watches back in Philly too. He be talking reckless to these little young niggas.
Well, I can't call that. But Veg, if you want, you could pick up where you were just saying how you could just start from when you got put on the con.
Yeah, I kind of like one day that all makes sense was probably when I actually became like a fan and I would check for his albums. But the first time, at least I recognized him skill wise was when I saw the video for I Used to Love Her. And it was just a simple fact that, it was a dope record. It had the concept of, hip hop being a woman. He was taking it through the different stages. And, like people take for granted, that was like a single video and all of that. Nowadays, that's a mixtape record or a B-side or deep cut, you know what I'm saying? And that was a single record back then, and you had to listen to it, you had to watch the video, you know what I'm saying? But I guess I would say that record was the first time I was kind of like, oh, this dude from Chicago was kind of nice, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't big on his flow back then. That and the other record, I think you mentioned it already.
Can I Borrow $1?
Yeah, well, no.
That was Sold by the Pound. That was on the first album. That was a B-side joint because the single was Take It Easy.
Right.
And on the B-side was Sold by the Pound. But like you said, back then, radio records could be a B-side after you done heard the original single. The B-side could blow up too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And I'm like Rec, but I got put on Sold by the Pound remix joint. You know what I'm saying? With I thought Take It Easy was cool or whatever. You know, he kind of had a little DOS thing going on, but the Soul by the Pound remix with the booming in, you booming in, you booming in your Jeep type of shit. That joint, I think it was just that chorus was just so catchy. You know what I mean? And in some of the lyrics, I'm as bad as Leroy Brown. I'm a pro for pro, but not a noun for noun. If you got beef, you'll get ground, cut up and sold by the
pound.
Going downtown like Julie Brown. I'm the round mound, not a rebound, but like a hound, I get down. Those was a joy like Dash when I was like, okay, this dude, you know what I'm saying? And I want to say Beatin' Us did the remix. Don't quote me on that, but that remix to me just had something that the album didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So that joint just is what stood out for me the most. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm definitely checking for dude. The funny thing, Vague, and I've told this story a million times. Most folk wouldn't admit to this, but hey, it is what it is. I did not know I used to love her when I first heard it. And one day we all at my crib in Kinston Gates, and like at the end, I'm like, "Oh shit, y'all! He talking about a girl," and he's like, "Yo, man, what you talking about?"
Oh man!
And I'm like, "Oh snap, yo, that's in G." And everybody looking at me like, "Yo, Kill, yo, you really don't listen to lyrics, do you?" I'm like, "Well, you know, they in there," but I always heard the beat first and foremost. But it had to be at least a good month, 2 months of hearing the song. Like, all right, that's what's up. He's talking about the shorty. And then it's like, oh snap, he's talking about hip hop, y'all. It's like, wow, you know what I mean? And I know I'm not the only one. Nobody else out there will admit it, but I know I'm not the only one. I've run across some people who thought Humpty Hump and Shock G are two different.
Same, yeah.
Oh wow,
not the same. They think
two different people, yeah.
So I know I ain't the only person who didn't know.
You ain't. I didn't know what OPP meant for the longest fucking time. So I mean, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody would fucking tell me.
I know cats out there is laughing, but I know I'm not who did that. Rack, tell me this, man. What's some of your what's one of your fave Converses?
Oh man, Nag Champa, the joint off of like Water for Chocolate. I don't have it in front of me, but you gotta go and listen to it, man, because he spits probably one of his most beautiful verses. That's the thing about Common, man. He hits you with some battle shit. He hits you with some introspective shit. But like, if you listen to what he's talking about, man, it has this like beauty to it. And for me, that Dag Chopper joint, that pushed me over the edge with like Water for Chocolate. I already was a fan of the album, but that verse, when I heard it, I was good. I didn't have to hear anything else from the album. Like that solidified it for me. And it just so happened that the song is like second to last on the album. Yeah. But that verse and how he carried it, and you know, with that Dilla shit, that was if I was to do a Common and like Dilla mixtape, I would either lead it off with that or I would end it with that song. It's one of the joints. Just that's my verse, that Nag Champa, man. That aphrodisiac for the world shit.
Yeah, he killed that joint. He killed that joint.
He killed that.
Yeah, I think one of and this was after I was already a fan, but when he dissed Ice Cube with Bitchin' You, I was like, now I was a huge Ice Cube fan, like, you know what I'm saying, like in my DNA, as far as like the man I became, the things I say, like, you know, death certificate, all that shit.
Right.
So when I knew he was dissing him, my man, get the fuck out of here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see what he did to NWA, you about to get the same thing. But man, yo, if Common read that nigga from first page to the last page, from Jerry Curl to the B pie, 40 ounces in the same sentence.
Right.
I was like, okay, there's a difference, right? Ice Cube is a hell of a songwriter, but this nigga's an MC. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because he's not just. It was dope because it wasn't like, oh, I have a problem with you, so I'm just gonna diss you and I'm gonna, you know, say Jerry Curl when you haven't had Jerry Curl for years and shit like that. He was like breaking down Ice Cube and picking out the flaws
Yes.
that, you know, we tend to ignore because we like the other dude so much. We just don't see it until he Common pointed it out. And I mean, everybody was just couldn't front like, yo, Common kind of got them, you know what I'm saying, with that joint. But yeah, that's when I was like, okay, Common can battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we got two, you know, so yeah, that one for me.
All right. The funny thing about that is I heard this joint that Common wanted Primo to do the beat for the Bitch and You First. But Preem was like, oh, you dissing Cube? Like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. Like, nah. I'm going to take a back seat on that one.
I don't get that one, though, man, because he played an integral part in some other beefs that he won't speak about.
I mean, again, and I read this. I don't know how true it is, but and then that's when Khan went to Pete Rock and was like,
Pete laced him with that heater.
He laced him with the joint. The funniest thing about that, man, this is why it's one of my favorite diss songs, because I wasn't a fan of the beat. I really don't like that beat at all. Like,
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you know, I never was a fan of the beat. Like, when it said produced by Pete Rock, I was a little like, word? Like, that's Pete? Like, because I wasn't a fan of it. But like you just said, he just dissected Cube like on some old Goodwill Hunting when Will was in the hallway, like broke down the whole Maffy on the wall. Like, I don't know if there's ever been a diss where you just dissect somebody that much. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. The joint I got, the first one I got is Hungry, off of One Day It'll All Make Sense, man. I got it right here. It says, I walked the night and rhyming armor bomb a nigga like a winter coat, have him on death row searching for an Interscope. Yet I sparkle like Irene Cara, symbolize dope like Sirens do terror. Mary Lou just had a baby, someone else decapitated. Flashbacks and past raps made me so glad I made it. Players is getting traded. Slim on them like it's jaded. My juice is great. Shit is so banging. Niggas say it's gang related on philosophers' ranks of thought. I skate with precision. Crews getting split like decisions. Comma let it ride with collisions like Coleco, Warren Tell. I bow like stars and stellar religions. My thought schemes like my offspring now is teething. My reason of rhyme applies to season and time. Season of mind, body, and regions divine. And mom cookout. I'm leaving the swine. Verbal vegetarian. Squash beef with Ice Cube. Came in this rap life nude. Now I'm fully clothed with flows. You tricks can't hide behind expensive cars and clothes. Old niggas I expose like Luke does hoes and videos. With classic material and period, rugged light. Got mag, but my slugs are might. You fake like a smile, like a hugger tight. Skip ladies, this is rip a mother good night. Oracle, niggas don't even run cover right. Downtown, interracial lovers hold hand. I breathe heavy like an old man with an old can of old style. Hold a stone owl profile, mixed between Malcolm X and self when I go wild. Hold like a second nut until the second coming. Coming toward you with power like bulls. You pop you my, and like a Ford, I'm exploring you. Whack niggas be cool, but with them I stay cordial. Flow at room temperature, catches assume miniature like golf. Soft like Tiger Woods. At real niggas angles, I've stood always saying that's geometric. Don't need to rob banks with dyke broads to set it. I let it to the occasion. Lounge like a lyricist. Rhyme wise like you were Rest Haven. You sat by the door spooked like I was Wes Craven. You need to do more deleting and less saving. I praise in hell, raise in heaven as the bill on my page 11. What you should have known from day one, you will on day 7.
And then them dope ass cuts come in.
Hip hop, that was joint ill style. Like cats don't know about it. It was a live little I think it was like East West Records back in the day. They threw out a little sample, and that was D-Dot Baby Paw who was doing
Baby Paw.
Hungry hip hop junkie in the city. It was crazy, man. But
that
yeah,
I got goosebumps, fam.
Yeah, Hungry, like he just, and that's what I love about Comm is like, you know, like you said, he could be so many different things. You know what I mean? And I always love it because at least one joint on each album, he reminds you that what he can give you, you know what I mean? Just in case you get it twisted, he can remind you about that. So what's another one that you got, right?
Man, Stolen Moments Part 3 off of that same album. It gave me the same feel when you were spitting that. I still have goosebumps just because, Van, you know how it is, man. When you in the booth and you spit something and you go back and you listen to it, I'm sure it gives you that feeling. from my perspective, I don't get to spit nothing. So when I hear something, that's the feeling I get because I want to take it straight to my turntables and dissect it that way. And Stolen Moments Part 3, that was it for me, man. For one, the beat is Q-Tip, man. This dude, actually, that was No ID. My bad. That was No ID, but it set the pace for that story. Common, man, like you said, he's a whole bunch of things, but people sleep on his storytelling skills, man. This dude broke down a whole story, and I'm not going to tell anybody what the story is about. We'll put you in the right direction, but go do the legwork and listen to the album. He tops that story off like I don't think anybody can. And that song, you have to go and listen to the other two parts just to make sure that you catch everything. Because if not, you're gonna miss something. And that's probably off that album. That and Hungry are probably the two. For me, those are my two bangers off that album. I can run that album straight through, but Stolen Moments Part 3, shit. That's another one I got.
Yeah, and you right on that whole storytelling tip. Like, to me, that Stolen Moments Part 1, 2, and 3, that was just, and when that dropped in '97, it was like, yo, this is what's taking storytelling to that next height. Like, yo, this dude got parts in it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so I mean, again, cats don't know because I'm sure there's a lot of people who just got with Calm or like Water Chocolate.
They have to go back and do the legwork.
Go back and dig in the crate for some of his stories, man. Because yeah, I feel you.
And that's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already difficult to. You got to be a storyteller in some shape or fashion. But to break it up in 3 parts and keep you engaged from a listening standpoint,
right?
And then to have the little, well, I ain't gonna spoil it, but to have the little thing at the end to be like, damn, that was worth listening to 3 different tracks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to it falling off somewhere towards the end because they don't know how to complete the story. So
it's 3 totally different songs with the same story, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Part 1, I think, is still my favorite. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Part 1 is cool as shit. I love it.
Yo, picking them up from the airport, like, yo, niggas don't bust it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, like, yo, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you talking about, because there may be some folk out there who like, y'all really doing a show about Calm, like Calm, like,
and that's why we doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the thing that trips me out all the time is that I made this show for us, you know what I mean, for old heads and like that. And it's funny when young folk will get at me on Twitter or say just about watching the show and everything like that. And I always joke, like, with my teenagers, they'll be like, yo, Mr. Kill, Ice Cube was a gangster rapper, and I'm like, yo, are you crazy? But they only know him from Are We There Yet?
Are We There Yet?
You know what I mean? And some folk may be like, Common was a rapper. I just know him from being in the movies and stuff. Like, yeah, like, I hate Common the actor, love Common the MC. So my man Nick joining us. What's good, Nick?
What up, man?
Late to the party.
What up, big dog?
It's all good. It's all good. Yo, tell me this, bro. We chopping up about Calm. Let me know, when did you know that Calm was a problem?
When I heard Communism off the Resurrection album. Yeah.
Ticka on.
Like Georgia State University, 88.5. They used to play that. And I said, ew, because I never heard the first album until after Resurrection, but I heard the Soul by the Pound remix. So it was kind of cool. Then when I heard that Communism, I was like, shh. That jump was crazy.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite Calm album too.
All right. That's what it is. Tell me this, what's one of your favorite Calm verses? One of his dopest joints, you think?
The Communism.
Okay.
Communism. That and now I say off of this joint, the My City. It's not My City. Hungry.
I just spit the whole rhyme.
Gave me goosebumps, man.
Yeah, the Khan was spitting, man. That's before Hollywood come.
Yeah. It's funny because that album is probably my favorite Calm album. And most folks, I mean, I realize, you know, like me and Veg would always talk about how classics sometimes just mean something to you. You know what I mean? And that when that dropped, I was living in Atlanta. I just graduated Morgan, couldn't find a job. Me and my girl was going through it. And that whole One Day to All Make Sense just spoke to me. It was almost like being in church and just like, because I'm like, yo, this don't make no sense. My life right now is like screwed. My girl beefing. I can't find a job with this degree. I should have stayed in Baltimore at the radio station. And it was just like, yo, one day it'll all make sense. Like that album just spoke to my situation in so many ways. One of the huge things I miss about hip hop nowadays, you know, and having those albums and those songs that could speak to you. But yeah, I just got finished running down the whole Hungry Verse and how crazy that joint was. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Veg, what's another one of your dope verses for Calm?
This is more like really like a song. But when I first heard The Corner, one, I was like, you know, like he back. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't Electric Circus. Got them fucking sweater hats on, looking crazy on stage.
Sweater hats.
Thick ass turtlenecks. Like, nah, this is the Common I know. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Years later, Electric Circus was just a little bit too ahead of its time at that point in time.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to it now, you're like, damn, everybody do this shit now, or did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But when I first heard The Corner, man, that beat, and then him being, this is when I felt like when he, you know, how he say, you know, dudes say I'm Chi-Town's Nas. There was a point where I never really agreed with that because I felt like Common was just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like a spoken word artist at one point, the way he would ride the tracks. I heard this. I was like, that description of the corner and the streets in that record, and then to have the Last Poets on there, basically giving their description on a deeper level. I was like, yo, this shit ain't just a single. This shit is this is a testimony right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know,
that was an anthem right there. That was an anthem.
It was.
That was an anthem. Yeah. And it's because in hip hop, a lot of times, you know, when you hear cats talking about the corner, they're kind of just talking about the same thing. But this dude described the hustlers that's on the corner. He described the other people who are, because it ain't, you know, to y'all who are not from the hood, it's not just the hustlers that's on the corner. If it's warm like it is now,
everybody on the corner.
Older people, kids who should have their ass in the house, everybody. And the video kind of fit that because you can see it in the video. It was, you know, it was populated. But yeah, when I heard that joint, I was like, damn, it was one of those things where you feel like, as a hip hop fan, you know, yeah, I could really sink my teeth into this shit. Like I could tell this shit is hot, but I know every time I listen to it, you know, every word he's saying. Of course, I would know it if it was playing, but I don't know it off the. Maybe Kill could pull out the pamphlet.
Yeah, man, I got a whole body.
Golly,
but
I got you.
But yeah, man, it was just a whole description of the corner and combined with the beat and the fact that, you know, it felt like he was back. Who did the production on that song?
On the corner, that was Ye.
Yeah,
that was Ye.
That was Kanye.
That was Ye before he became the new Ye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't produce my own tracks, Ye.
Yeah, but yeah, that's actually one of mine too. The verse that I had highlighted was the Black church services murderers. They rap serving burgers as cats with gold permanents, moving their bags as herbalists. The dirt just ain't fertile. It's people up working and earning this. The curb getters go where the cash flow and the current is. It's so hot that niggas burn to live. The furnace is where the money moving the determine is. We talk shit, play loud, and buy German beers. It's so black that the action is affirmative. The corner, you know what I'm saying? And that was just.
Come on, man. That's not easy shit to write. That's being in the zone. That's thinking about it and then turning it into poetry. You know what I'm saying? Visualizing all of that and turning it into poetry.
Yeah.
Because that's a perfect lineup of words without sounding redundant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. The corner was definitely, and I think, and I mean, Com said it on I forgot the joint with Ye at the end of that album when he says, you know, niggas heard the corner. He said that nigga's back. Like,
Yeah.
He right.
yeah,
He was right.
understood when
right.
he
Absolutely right.
come back from Electric Circus, which we gonna get into later on because I have one of my people here who actually likes the album. So I want to chop it up with him about that. But even Com knew he had to hit it out the park with B. He knew that, you know.
He had to. He had to.
One of my other favorite joints is off like Water for Chocolate. And it's Dilla on a beat. And I gotta go with Thelonious.
Whew.
Yeah.
I love that, man. He says, get your third eye poked, fuck game. I assemble dopeness. A nigga that's fresh as the fest. Study this rap shit, no need to mic test. You can feel it in your chest. Your BI can feel it in her breast. Plus you rhyme like a niggas with his nipple pierced. We look off lyrics in the street. Real niggas hear us. Dreaming when I wrote this. Box me if I go too wild. Still doing this like that dude in Wild Style. Inviting whack niggas to dinner. I should bet him. I don't know.
Man, nigga.
You better go to guy like Mace did. Leaving crowds complacent. I move them above the clouds, whether on some surf or turf or thug style. You can feel it in your body. Come on, you can feel it in your body, man. When he did that whole I could trick Daddy MCs and I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it was like, yo, this dude is just playing around with folk, man. He just doing this like it ain't even nothing. Like this is just coming to him like it's easy. Like it's almost like seeing a dude like God handle the rock. Like it don't even look like
he ain't trying.
He ain't even trying. It's just, I just, you know, dribbling his ball is like walking down the street to a normal person. Like, yo, Com, when he gets in his zones, Com gets in his zones. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, Rec, what's another joint you got, Big?
Man, yo, for me, another joint for me was Testify, man. Testify took a minute for me to digest, man, because I was so into the rest of the album that I kind of Testify was one of those joints that I just put to the side. I was driving to work one day, man, and I was intent on digesting it. So, man, for about a week straight, I made sure I heard that song. And Common, man, that guy knows how to give you a full album without letting you know it's a full album, man. He hits you with so much stuff that the albums are so balanced, you know, and he's hitting you with a joint for the ladies and you don't even know it. You know, it's just he's seasoned to the point to where he knows how to give everyone a full album and it all be hip hop, and you don't even know that it could possibly be a radio cut because it's hip hop, and that's what I love because he tries to keep the essence, you know. It don't have to be for one person or for this group or for that group. It's all hip hop. So, you know, we're going to love it regardless.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Another dope video, you know, off that B album. I mean, you know, that Testify was dope. You know what I mean? The whole video with Saraji in it. Yeah. I forgot the boy named Wood Harris' brother was in it, you know, and then I always like Com stories because he always got a nice little flip at the end. You know what I mean? So that was dope, you know. And if you guys don't know about Com storytelling game, we already told y'all about Stolen Moments, Testify. You gotta go here, Payback as a grandmother, you know, joints in the storytelling realm too up there. So Nick, what's another one of your joints, Big?
You just said it. Y'all already talked about it. The whole Stolen Moments, the whole thing, that whole it was just amazing. Like, cause when that was my first year of college when that dropped. Yeah, it was like late '97. So just the whole thing about somebody watching his crib, they done stole his, you know, he not Timberlands, he rocking Rockports and
right.
that whole.
Yo, I didn't know what the hell Rockports were, man.
I was like, Rockport, what the hell coming on? You know what I mean? Like, there gotta be some Chi-Town shit right there. But,
I don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
How he ended it, you know, at the end, like the nigga that did it put the tape in the deck. I was like, oh, what? Riding with him the whole time, and he the one that did it. Like, that, yeah, I like that. That's one of my favorite joints.
Yeah.
And another joint off that album was the Real Nigga Quotes. Real nigga quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I think it was something that one day it'll all make sense album. I think it was. I don't know if he had something to prove. I don't know what it was, but he just seemed to be in a special zone. You know, like Water for Chocolate is dope, but to me, it's a different zone than one. All makes sense, man.
I think more people would like it if it was sequenced better, because like the sequence.
Yeah, the sequence was off. Sequence was off.
What he was doing at the end.
It's off, but I agree with you. I that's the one thing. I thought I was the only person that caught that. I felt like it wasn't cohesive, but the tracks was all dope.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Veg, you got another one for us?
Yeah. Off of well, I'm just gonna say it right now. This is my favorite Common album. One day it all makes sense, but again, this is not even just a verse. This is a whole song, but a retrospect for life. Mainly because the fact that while back in the day, for Tupac having a single about, you know, like when Brent's got a baby, and I remember thinking, you know, when I was back then, like, damn, you know, like I don't think I ever heard a rapper talk about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I felt the same way with Common with this because of the simple fact that it was his personal story. Once he started talking about his personal story with this, with the abortion and all of that, it just, I literally, like, you know how you can be listening to music and you're listening, but you're kind of paying attention to the atmosphere or whatever. I was on a bus because I had bought the album and, you know, listened to it on the ride back. And when that came on, man, it was like there was nothing else going on. I was literally listening to everything this dude was saying.
Right.
I mean, it was informing me. You know what I'm saying? Because I hadn't been in that situation. So I was like, well, damn, I don't want to regret something like that. So what would I do? And I think that was dope. For him, for one, to talk about the subject. Two, you know, for it to be his personal experience. And just the whole feeling with Lauren singing the Stevie Wonder joint. And it was just perfect, man. I just felt completely locked in when that record came on. So, man, I gave him mad props for doing that to this day.
Yeah, it's funny. That was actually one of my slept on joints, so I got it right here. Knowing you the best part of life, do I have the right to take yours? Because I created you irresponsibly. Subconsciously knowing the act I was a part of, the start of something I'm not ready to bring into the world. Had myself believing I was sterile. I look into your mother's stomach and wonder if you were a boy or a girl, turning this woman's womb into a tomb. But she and I agree. See, we don't need, you would have been much more than a mouth to feed, but someone I would have fed this information I read to someone. My life to you, I would have had to leave. Instead, I led you to death. I'm sorry for taking your first breath, first step, and first cry, but I wasn't prepared mentally nor financially. Having a child is something, having a child shouldn't have to bring out the man in me. Plus, I wanted you to be raised within a family. I don't want to go through the drama of having a baby's mama. Weekend visits and buying J's ain't gonna make me a father. For a while, bearing a child, something I never wanted to do. For me to live forever, I can only do that for you. Nerve I got talking about niggas taking a life with a gun. Must have really thought I was God to have take the life of my son. I could have sacrificed going out. To think my homies did it, used to joke or brag about. From now on, I'm gonna use self-control instead of birth control, because $315 ain't worth your soul. $315 ain't worth your soul. $315 ain't worth it. You know, and I think, you know, I mean,
that's some real shit.
Yeah, I mean, when you really listen to the lyrics, because most people, that's the other thing with hip hop, and Royce, well, Jay was talking about it, but Royce used that as an intro on a new bar exam for a joint, just saying, like, you know, I don't think MCs are looked at as writers. You know what I'm saying? They're just, you know, looked at as spitters or freestylers or whatever like that. But when you really, and most people don't listen to lyrics without the music, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when you really sit there and listen to it, as much as I love this song, you know, I'm seeing things that I really didn't peep before, you know. And the funny thing about, like Vague saying, it being from him, I mean, I used to think I was sterile. I used to always be like, I can't get nobody pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, you know? And one of my young boys who I mentor in the hood be saying the same thing, like, man, I can't get nobody pregnant. Now he got a son. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's the way that dudes sometimes think in the hood. Like, man, I can't get nobody pregnant, you know. But I think, and then I love the way he ended it just with the whole, you know, the $315 ain't worth your soul. And saying that 3 times, like, bring that point home. Like, you know, and I think one of my favorite lines in that was just when he was like, you know, I got nerve to talk about niggas with a gun. You know, must have really thought I was God to take the life of my son. Like,
that's
that
real
stuff
shit.
make you think, B. That stuff will make, you know, again, like Veg said, I ain't never, you know, had to go through getting an abortion with nobody, but yo, I think if I did, I'd be feeling guilty after that song. You know what I mean? You may feel guilty for a minute and then go back to doing your thing, but for a minute, for a half a second, you gonna be like, damn, you know. And even if it's one of those like, damn, all right, well, I'm back to normal, but it's one of them joints that's definitely gonna have you thinking, man. And yeah, definitely, that definitely was one of mine too. The next joint I got for one of his dopest is this is when I knew Khan was back. I was watching the Chappelle show, and we got Kanye West and Common Sense, and Common is coming off you know, that whole fiasco, Electric Circus. So I'm like, I don't want to. Yo, when that beat came on, it was on. Story. Again and again about these young brothers from the city of Wynn, like juice and gin in the city we blend. Amongst the hustles, titties and skin, 50%. Y'all know them spree wells and trucks that's detailed, heartless females that want to ride in them. Heartless females want to ride in them. Come on, y'all. Felt the south side venom and raw hides and denim. Pimp minds collide with them, a system that tries victims we living in. My man in the fast lane, pivoting on the block. White is selling like M&Ms. On the block, you jump off like Kim and them. On the block, it's hot. You can feel it in your skin in them. Shorties get the game, but no instructions to assembling. Eyes is bright. It seems like the fighting dim is them. Call my man Cuzzo because like I'm kin to him. He trying to stay straight. These streets is bending him. Man, when I heard that, and then Ye came in doing his Ye thing, man, I was like, yo, this nigga's back, man. And then just how they did the kitchen and calling it the food, it was, man, it was. And the funny thing that I loved about so much is I remember getting my hands on an advanced copy of of B, and it had a studio version of it. And I think enough beefed about it. Like, yo, still got the same energy as the live version, and they had to put the live version on there because that studio version of Food just didn't even compare to that.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Totally different energy. Just one of those things you just can't replicate. But that's when I knew Khan was back. That's when I knew he was back. Yeah. So tell me this, y'all. What are some of y'all slept on verses, if y'all have any from Khan? Like, I got a couple of slept on joints that I don't think the average hip hop fan has heard. But Rec, you got any slept on verses from Khan?
Yeah, man. 99, man. 1999 off the Sound Bombing 2 joint, man. That shit went like wind for a lot of cats. And I remember going to the record store, man. And that whole Sound Bombing 2, man. Sound Bombing 1 passed people by, but when Sound Bombing 2 came out, it had so much, oomph with it because of the names that was associated with it. By that time, those cats had already done something, and then they had this crazy single, the 99 joint. And man, he killed that. He killed that. So for me, I think it's slept on. People don't talk about it enough. You don't hear it a lot anymore, at least. So that for me is his slept on joint.
Man, I feel you. I got that right here. That's one of my joints.
Yeah.
Fighting for freedom, writing for freedom. These record company niggas, I don't like when I see them. My ancestors, when I'm writing, I see and talk with them. Hoping in the promised land I could walk with them. Hitting on so many rappers, it's like I'm in the stall with them. Molest concepts, stalk rhythms, play dudes, borrow wisdom. As legends fall, my grandmother's answers heaven's call. Preacher's daughters got in the reverence hall. MC's reckless eyeball. Why y'all want to go and do that? Must have thought I was solo. The name ain't the UAC. No mo. Still together. Like in the ghetto photo with one nigga in a chair. Hold a lick in despair. Gun signs in the air. I shine as with time is just a glare. Hold the mic like a memory. Niggas say I'm nice with metaphors, but these are
similes.
Ministry. My poetry's penitentiary.
Oh, man.
Track is visitation. Sentence is life. I'm like chief up in this demonstration. Yo.
When he hit him with the nigga, these assemblies line, I was just like, all right, man, enough, man, because it's like you've been saying it the whole show. It's like he's playing with you. He's not even really trying. And then when he wants to try, he starts hitting you with a bar here, bar there. Like he's playing with you, going back and forth, you know. Yeah, man, 99 was a joint.
Yeah, that's crazy. Reg, you got any slept on Converses?
Not really. That was mine. The 1999.
Oh shit.
Like Rex said, I think a lot of people forget about that record. Like everybody was kind of crazy for it when it dropped. But I think dudes kind of forgot after a while once other records came out and time passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think he killed that joint. And again, it was like Common does this thing that he doesn't probably have to do even now, but he still does it, where he kind of reminds you, like, yo, I can spit, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still somehow maintains that hunger to want to, put a verse out there that puts people on notice as far as who he is, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that record was one of them. That was attention grabbing. When I heard that joint, I was like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's not even on the album. Common spazzing on other shit. You know
Yeah. It had that feel too, because you gotta remember it was cold when that shit came out. That New York winter feel to it. That's Veg know what I'm talking about. When you got them headphones on and you on the train or you on the bus and you got some shit in your headphones and it's keeping you warm. That's the shit that you need.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's actually a track that really put me on a high tech. Like to be like, who did that? Like that joint is crazy. Not to mention one of my favorites, Sadat X on there, man.
Yeah, Sadat killed.
Sadat just came on there and killed. I mean, we're gonna definitely do a show on Sadat because my joint on there was. I thought y'all knew. Every year I grow, I'm still growing. And then the year I hold my girl a beat show. Like they just both came on there and just blessed that. Like, and the video was dope too. It was just a dope all around joint. Nick, you got any slept on joint?
Yeah, did y'all talk about the Lately I've Been Thinking of the America Dying Slowly?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, that I think a lot, due to the fact that it was on a compilation, a lot of people ain't catch that one. That's a hot verse on there. It was like, I don't know how accurate Rap Genius is. It was like, nearest to the go gothic, a cash flow profit, methods of getting scratched, talking slick I've adopted, palms in a lot with stunts whose heart be gained, holes in a stable, none do I claim, niggas with nothing to shoot for at they only aim, Gramps in the choir singing It's Gonna Rain, in the midst of precipitation, I make the power manipulation, so my offspring will be straight for generations. Got connections in the nation to incarceration, to general population. More lyrics than Jason. Look me in the face when you speak to me. You got a tattoo, trick you a freak to me. Seeking thee, goods that's material. Asking when my next video. Bitch, get a job and get your ass in somebody's university. Enroll your youngin' in the nursery. Clean him up, comb his hand, cover yourself. You want a man to love you, you ain't loving yourself. Like, that verse, that was like right.
Yo, he went hard.
Resurrection. That's my joint. Man.
Okay,
the whole compilation almost banging.
Yeah. That's crazy. Nick, you got any more? Because I got a couple slept on joints.
Not really.
All right. Well, if they come to you, I got a couple of joints. One of my slept on Converses is You and I Verse at War.
Oh yeah.
Off of Philadelphia. I slept on right there. Get on the mic talking about cars and clothes. Sounding like hoes. The most disciples. I'm from the state that is ill. The rap son of man. Located down the field to see what I feel. Get off my bird chest. My word becomes fresh. War going on between the West and the East. Other land niggas don't own a piece. Grease is the word. Murray slides some pimp oil to me. My lady friend sneaks my beer in the movie. That was like my thing right there. I used to love that whole tailor-made ostrich Chanel for my woman friend.
Yeah.
Good lady friend. That's what your uncle say. You like, yo, it's my lady friend. My lady friend. Like, don't call my girlfriend. I don't know what it is about uncles and the word girlfriend, but they don't like that.
Nah, it's committing. It's committing.
They don't like the word girl. Hey, nephew, that's my lady friend right there. So I used to always say that line, man.
All right, so I got another question. Since we go ahead, because we didn't touch on this, right?
Hold on, can I finish the verse?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I was just saying that's my part. My lady friend sneaks my beer in the movies. Throw your hands in the air if you were true and living. Beware the new world order, the devil's new religion. Sent my homie to number 2 division, selling bootleg movies. Got my VCR on the smoothie. Be at Fat Tuesdays drinking tropicals, just sitting at the table with sophisticated. Nah, that ain't nothing I would call my mother. Nor do I call every my brother. Gotta have black thought and sort of be like Malik. So don't question a brother to the roots I get deep. You know what I mean? I just love that ending. Like people in Vegas, the MC, and he'll tell you again. He's been saying it all. It's not an easy task to start a rhyme dope and to end a rhyme. You know what I mean? Yeah. That the way he just set that off and then ending it with the gotta have black thought and sort of be like Malik. So don't question a brother like that. That's it. But my bad, Rack. What you was about?
Nah, you good. So what's your thoughts on Act 2?
Act 2?
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? I thought it was dope, but I just felt like the whole I used to love a piece. People just went too far with it. Like you still got people now, like in 2017, talking about hip hop like it's a girl. Like it just was over to me. Like it was like I love the verse. Don't get it twisted, but I just kind of was just like, we still talking about hip hop like it's a girl, y'all. Like let's do something else. Call it something else. I don't care what you call it. Call the subway train and talk about how the doors would open. I don't know, but so. I love the verse, but I just
pretty soon they're gonna be calling it Jordans or talking about all their friends is dead. So you know how that go.
I was just tired of that joint. Let me see. What was another one of my slept on? Another joint in this. Folk can tell we going back to this album a lot. One Too Many. Off of One Day at All.
Oh man.
This is one day I was trying to be myself. The same day the Stuck said, you gotta come hard. Nigga, times is hard. I'm trying hard to make it. It ain't hard to tell. It's hard for me to face. Plus, it's hard to be big. It's hard to stop drinking. It's coming from you hard, niggas. Yo, let me. I feel like you know what I'm talking about a DJ. Well, you gotta bring it back. Like, bring it back. Bring that back one more time. One day I was trying to be myself. And the same day the Stuck said, you gotta come hard. Nigga, times is hard. I'm trying hard to make it. It ain't hard to tell. It's hard for me to fake it. Plus, it's hard to be me. It's hard to stop drinking. I guess it's hard for some of you hard niggas to start thinking. Pussy MCs thinking, so I can't get hard. Some become MCs because it's hard to get a job. Yo, some become MCs because it's hard to get a job. You know how many dudes I knew could not find a job? And was like, yo, I'm going to just try to rhyme. Like, yo, some become MCs because it's hard to get a job. Hard for you to trust in people. You don't trust in God. Even harder to be guys we created to be. This Western way of world wasn't native to me. Put one nigga in your Pulp Fiction and related to me. Put one in your Pulp Fiction and related to me. Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Man, I hate it when they say we don't use that call our women's hoes. Niggas be too hard to say hoes at the show. I hate the only race that call our women hoes, but niggas be too hard to say hoe at the show.
Because they girls standing right next to them.
Yo, come on, man. That was one of my other things, the death of hip hop, when people stopped wanting to be fans. And it was like, yo, I'm too hard to take part and partake in this activity that's going on right here. That used to be the thing. Like, yo, I'm from the era of the Fresh Fest. I'm from the era of LL walking out of 30
radio
tape deck coming out. I came from an era where you came to a hip hop show, you wanted to have a good time. You wanted to dance. You wanted to leave hoarse. You know what I mean? Now hip hop shows just people with their cell phones up the whole time. And so, yeah, it's hard to say hoes at the show. I rose like a florist, bringing flowers. I rose like a florist to bring the flavor like a tourist. might not have a murderous verse, but I still hard to the chorus. Took this girl to work. She said, I ain't have a real job. Like that you had last night, baby. I worked real hard. Simple mother telling me hard as criminal. Niggas, you was too hard pouring out liquor for. Years ago, I thought I was hard in high school fight. Now I'm the hardest working man in showbiz. Handle your business. Shut the fuck up, man. Yo, one too many, man. Forever, I ain't going to be rapping. Shit will happen. I got to let niggas know. Like, that was the thing with Cobb, too. He had his own little flow with it. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Cobb was a monster, man. He was a monster.
It's almost like he always rapped with a chip on his shoulder when he didn't have to.
Well, maybe the chip was, you know, because we were still in that era where you from made, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got, Chicago. He trying to put Chicago on the map.
He came in an era where, you know, these new cats don't understand. You could be from anywhere and get love in hip-hop now. But back in the day, if you wasn't from New York, you wasn't getting no love. You know what I mean? You could even been from Staten Island and you wasn't getting no love. So,
and on top of that, he was yellow. He was the yellow brother. We gotta go extra. We gotta go extra.
yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, he can't. So I feel like maybe that's what it was. That he did have a
He said he had to go extra because he was young.
Yeah, go extra. He wasn't from New York. And
oh my God.
Nickel fool, man. Nickel fool. Right, this is my last step on. Then I want to go into some other stuff about Calm. Again, off the album, One Day It All Makes Sense, making a name with ourselves with Cannabis. You know. Now, this is not the Cannabis.
Yeah. No, they don't know that, man. Whew.
Cannabis was probably one of the most richest people out here, you know, and like, do you know what this is? Getting on a joint with Cannabis in 1997 would have been the equivalent to Floyd fighting Manny 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. Like, that's what that, you know, because most people in Black Thought used to say it. People don't never want to get on a song with me. Like, I invite people to our sessions. I don't never get invited to no sessions because niggas know what's going to happen to them. So for you to invite Cannabis in 1997 to be on your joint, I don't even, you know what? Just out of here, I don't even want to repeat it.
It's going to be a solo Cannabis cut on my album.
Pretty much.
I don't even want to go into Tell me this. We talked about the dopest. We talked about the slept on. Tell me this. Tom is one of the few people who's been able to rock with 3 or 4 of the dopest producers. You know what I mean? I was really glad to see No ID really finally get a shine when, you know, Ye brought him back out. Because a lot of people were like, oh, Ye put No ID on.
Nah, fuck no.
No, put Kanye on in the beginning. But again, a lot of folk don't know their history. So, you know, if you new to this, you thinking, oh, Kanye put on No ID. It's like really just the opposite. Ye pulled his own head back up when Ye got here. But Common's done some bangers with High Tech. He did the 199. He did the Techzilla, which is another slept on.
Man, that Techzilla joint. Don't forget about the Sun God.
I was
about to say Sun God.
Don't forget about the Sun God.
About to go there.
That's slept. That's slept on.
Yeah, that's the High Tech. So you got High Tech with the 199 and Techzilla and the Sun God. You got Dilla, who did basically like Water for Chocolate. You know what I mean? You got No ID, who's been there since day one. And then you got Kanye, because I felt like he caught Kanye when Kanye was like at his peak, like when Kanye was in his groove and just was, because B is just that. You know, I remember, I think it was in Scratch Magazine, they were talking about when they made Go. I want to say that they said that they went to the movies and saw Ray.
Yes, I had that magazine, yeah.
And then came back and then did Go. So it's one of those things where just the cohesion between producer and MC, just hanging out, then just going to see a movie, seeing Ray, coming back, being inspired, and wanting to cook something up. So out of those 4, Tech, Dilla, No ID, and Kanye, who do you think gave Calm his best moments on wax? Rec, who do you got?
Man, you gonna throw that at me?
That's easy for me.
Nah, man, it's not, because all 4 of those guys, man, had something special with Common. There's not one piece of like one falls off here and one's here over there. It's for me, it's equal, man, because I love Common that way. I'm gonna go with Ye, man. I think that stretch from after he did like Water for Chocolate and did those 2 albums, man, that stretch is about a good 4 or 5 years. Man, that, like you said, he caught him at a good run, man. Common was right there lyrically, like he was focused. He
knew he had to bring that heat.
Right. Because the one before that wasn't there, so he had something to prove, and then Ye was just cooking up shit. You'd be like, yo, what the fuck is that sample? And then when you look at it, you're like, man. So I'm gonna go with the Kanye years, man. I think that was a really good run. I just wish that Ye would go back to that, but hey, that's just me. But I'm going with the Ye years, man.
Nah. And one of the things I want to say about Com too that makes him different from a lot of other artists. Most times when an artist leaves their producer, something fails. You know, it's like I always said, like, why would Genuine leave Timbaland, or why would Janet leave, you know, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? Like, yo, like history has shown us when you leave your home base, you know, it don't get no better.
It don't do well for you.
Yeah, and Com is one of the few people who left home base and may have gotten doper. You know what I'm saying? But Nick, you said so. Who you got?
I say it's easy because my two favorite Com albums were produced by this guy.
Okay.
So yeah, I think just to me, No ID, him and No ID during that stretch had the best chemistry.
All right.
And you know, of course, the Soulquarians on like Water for Chocolate was dope.
Mm-hmm.
But people like to forget that, you know, everybody hate on Electric Circus. That was Dilla.
That's a Soulquarian album, yeah.
That was Dilla right there. But
we gotta get into that next, good brother. We gonna get into that next. We gonna get into
okay.
That's good, brother. We gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so I say No ID. I love B. You know what I'm saying? He did two with but he did two with Ye.
Right.
B was tight. That second one was alright. I forgot the name of it.
That was the
Find It Forever. Find It Forever.
Yeah, it was cool, but him and No ID had the best chemistry.
All right, no doubt. Veg, who you got on it?
I agree with Nick. I think No ID for me, only because I felt like those are the songs, for me at least, lyrically and as songs that were more memorable.
Right.
Out of the other ones he did. Because I honestly, like, later on, of course, as time went on, I found myself listening more to Finding Forever than I do B.
Yeah.
Because the mission was, let's just get you back. So the records were bangers, but it wasn't like One Day to All Make Sense with that whole cohesiveness and this journey type feeling. Whereas Finding Forever, which I believe that's when No ID also came back.
That's No ID came back with Dream of the Believer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dream of the Believer.
That's Ye again.
But again, that's another example. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like with Dilla, he's dope. With all of them, he's dope. But there's something about that connection with No ID, and maybe it's No ID really knowing how to get the best out of him. Maybe not the best, but to get a little bit more depth out of him when it comes to the records. But I mean, it all sounds dope. That one particular album, man, One Day It'll All Make Sense.
Yeah,
it's just perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think if he was to do what everybody seems to do now, is, you know, take their best album and do a part two, it would have to be that one. You know what I'm saying? The album. So
wow.
Yeah, I think No ID is that dude.
Yeah, and real quick before my answer, I gotta go into one more slept on joint because you said No ID. Well, I agree with y'all with Nick and Bag. I gotta say No ID. Same thing. I just think they just had a chemistry, you know, and again, that's not no knock because it wasn't as easy as Nick said for me.
Nah, this shit's hard.
I'm like, damn, like, yo, I love what Dilla did for him, you know, and I love what Ye did for him, you know, because Ye brought him back from the dead like that. You gotta almost give him a bonus point for bringing. It's hard to bring somebody back from the dead. It ain't easy to resurrect folk like that. Just is not
at all.
To do, you know. But
yeah, B was resurrecting for real.
When Veg said the No ID, I just thought of one of my slept on verses. I did not really. When the Dream of the Believer came out, I thought it was cool. I was really hyped for it because I'm like, wow, No ID and Common back together again. They had dope songs. I mean, one of my slept on verses is Blue Sky. I love that verse on there. The joint with Nas, Ghetto Dreams. Yo,
yeah, Ghetto Dreams.
That was just fire. Like that's the calm. Like when Vague, for me at least, when you saying that's that calm. Like when I heard that beat, and it was just like, yo, like, and Calm talking reckless like that about his girl, like yeah, this is dope. And Hungry, I mean not Hungry, he had to join Sweet, where he was dissing Drake and all that.
Drake, yeah.
I just didn't feel like as a whole that album was good, and I really wasn't in love with Finding Forever. But one of my slept on verse, and I love this because he to me this is one of the times he gets visual with it again with Kingdom. When he's like second row of the church with my hood on. My homie used to rap, he was about to get put on. As Funeral listened to his church song, I'm feeling his family yelling and screaming, I hurt for him. A cold war, that's why we pack heaters. Listening to this preacher as he trying to reach us. I'm gonna need to go back. I got to get him back and forth in these streets. That's the rhythm. Revenge is supposed to be the Lord's, but I use my own accord. When I see him on a porch, cost my man's life. I can't afford not to hit him. Shots ripping through his true religion denim. These streets is my religion. You know what I mean? Like that was just a dope verse to me right there. One of the, I really in that Kingdom, I love Kingdom. I really had high hopes with me with nobody smiling, but
yeah,
kind of fell by the wayside. But while we here, brother Nick, Deacon Nick.
Let's talk about it.
Deacon Nick.
Deacon Nick. Help me to understand what I'm missing with Electric Circus. Because let me tell you this, I brought Electric Circus coming off like water from chocolate. I had my, and again, I use this analogy all the time. You go out to dinner, you ask the waiter for a Sprite, he brings you some water, you taste it. You know, there's nothing wrong with the water, you just had your mouth set for some Sprite. That's what you was ready to taste when you got that. When I put in Electric Circus, and I've tried. Like, I love Calm. We're doing a show about Calm. I've tried Electric Circus numerous times throughout the years. You know, when I first met you, I pulled it back out. I still can't do it. Like, I don't get it. I know Dilla did it, but here's the thing. As a producer, I'll be the first to tell you, most producers have a folder full of beats. I call them 3,000 beats. Like that, I only think Andre 3000 will rhyme over. Like, I usually don't send them out. And it's crazy because one of the people who always my 3,000 beats is Vegas. You know what I mean? And I'm always shocked because I'm like, Vegas, you like this? Like, but so even though Dilla did it, like if Calm came to me and said, yo, I want to do some more wild, different stuff, like I'm with Erica, that's the first problem. He made that album because everybody looked in them eyes and he was never the same. He did the opposite of Dre. Dre went crazy, but Dre got nicer. Calm looked in the eyes, Dre and Calm got worse. Like there was nothing for Dre to.
You know why though? You know why?
Wasn't he with Badu on Light Water for Chocolate?
Hold on, what you were saying, Bag?
Huh?
You said I know why. Why?
Because he ain't hit.
Remember?
Right? He put the article out about being celibate.
Right.
You know, he ain't get a chance to like transition. He ain't getting none. So, you know.
He said he didn't transition.
Yeah, he was going there. You know, he had the triple X turtlenecks and shit.
No. You know what this dude? This dude Vag. Yo, Vag be in rare form sometimes. Man. I love that.
He said because he didn't transition.
This dude basically said he started the tattoo but didn't finish. He didn't finish the tattoo. And he said
so that's what we got. The messed up tattoo.
All the way. That is the best breakdown of why it worked for 3000 and it didn't work for Calm. Vag, you just solved the hip-hop mystery.
He solved the mystery.
He solved the mystery. Now I get it.
I don't know how it was, but you know it's crazy, and I know we kind of getting away from the topic at hand, but just real quick, I remember when I watched them perform, I forget what it was, some award show or some shit. And it was Common and it was Erykah Badu. And you know, me and my wife was watching, I'm looking at Common like, man, look at this nigga. He got the triple X turtleneck on. But the crazy part was I looked at Erykah and she had that look like, what is this nigga doing? I'm about to go fuck with DLC. And tell him you don't
exactly.
And a nigga without a voice. You have a baby with that nigga.
Yo, did you just say a dude without a voice? All right, cool. We done for the night. We done. We'll make people at Kill 889. Dude, you know this man when you dress like that, and a dude with no voice. Nick, explain to us what you loved about Electric Circus, please.
No, I'm not even gonna say I love it. I just think, like, let's say this: if you didn't see that video with that nigga looking like he was out of the Fat Albert cartoon, would you view that album differently? Like, if you ain't see him with them cue cards.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh shit, I forgot about
Yeah, he had the cue cards. Remember that shit? He's in the window.
He had the cue cards. So I think that video just deterred everybody. Like, they checked out once they saw the video. It's like, hell nah.
Yo, to be honest with you, bro, I can't remember what came first, the video or the album, but I mean, the album just never grabbed me, you know. And again, it probably was just based off, and I will go back and listen to it again. But I think it was just when you say Dilla, I'm expecting something from Dilla. When you say Calm, I'm expecting something from Calm. Coming off like Water for Chocolate, you know, like I said, I've tried to go back and listen to it. And I mean, y'all know Dilla's my favorite, but there ain't no past that, man. I can't. And the video just did not help. I mean, the dude pulled up like a Dodge Dart, like, you know, and yeah, and the cue cards, it was bad, man. It was bad all the way around. And then the worst part was, like, we were supposed to like it because Shorty was deaf. Like, then we were supposed to, like, go, oh, like, there was never no moment, like, oh, she's deaf. That was cute. It was like, it's still whack. You know, that's how bad a whack is. That's how you know something is whack. When somebody has a handicap and you don't even feel sorry for them. Yeah. It's still whack. Like, that's the stamp of whackness.
They tried to give you that Apollo feel because, you know, when somebody go on the Apollo sing a gospel song, you better not boo. Nah, that shit was terrible.
It didn't even matter. Like, Shorty deaf.
You felt sorry for her because she had this corny nigga outside the house with cue cards.
yeah. But I'm sorry, but back to what we were saying. So you think it was the video, but why do you like that? I mean, not to say you love it, but you like it, right?
I think from a production standpoint, it's dope. Like, some of the tracks work, like Aquarius. There's a few, Star 69. Some joints work, but I think, like Vade said, if it was Andre 3000 or Mos Def could have pulled that album off. Okay. Common was just the wrong dude.
Right.
That wasn't his lane.
And it's funny,
like, he was trying to prove something to Erica too hard.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I've always said, like, I don't know what it is about down south rappers, like 3 Stacks and CeeLo can do that. You know what I mean? And like you said, an up north dude like Mos could do it, but when Common tried it, or even when Q-Tip tried Vibrant Thing and Breathe and Stop, like, it just ain't work for them. So, you know, I don't know why Mos could do it. Maybe because Mos could actually, maybe here's the thing, because Mos is just more talented than Common and Q-Tip. Maybe that's really what it comes down to. Just talent. You know, like, Common can rap, and that's what he does good. Like, Q-Tip can rap. Like, Mos can sing, you know, and he does that well. He raps well, and he acts well. He's more talented than them, you know. But yeah, it didn't work for Com, and it didn't work for Q-Tip. It just didn't work. Because I still remember hearing Vibrant Thing and being like, "This is the Q-Tip solo album I've been waiting for since like 11th grade." Like,
that joint looking like a purple. What's my man? Ultimate Warrior, looking like the purple Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. But all right, now tell me this: in your top 25 MCs, where does Com rank for you? Let's start with you, Rack. Where does Com rank? Of course, if you may not have the exact number, but give me a whereabout of 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 12 to 15. Where does he fall in your top 25 MCs of all time?
I honestly don't know if Com is in my top 25. I've never thought about him like that to put him in my top 25, even though he is one of my favorite guys. I'm talking about from a whole standpoint. I would put him in my top 25, probably maybe 20 to 25. Now that I think about it real quick, but that's probably about as best I can give him. I'm not gonna put him in my top 20. I need one more solid album to even think about that. I think he takes too much time off. Personal opinion. But he's in my top 25. He's probably just making it.
All right. Nick, what about you? Where does Com rank for you?
You know, he probably for me, he's like the 16 through 20, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I'm like, let's scan through mine real quick. He like 16, 20. He'll be somewhere in there for me.
All right, Vegan. What about you?
I think it seems almost disrespectful for me to. Well, he's not in my top 10, but I feel like if I was counting down, I would have to consider him in like somewhere between 10 to 15. Only because, you know, like this episode here, you know, when you go over the catalog and, you know, and more importantly, like people sleep. That Nobody Smiling album is dope. And the last one wasn't that bad. But you break down the lyrics like you were doing with some of the lyrics and you hear that, you got to start thinking about like, well, shit, who do I have in front of him? You know what I'm saying? And 25 for me at least is a big number because I have my favorites and I have dudes who are in, you know, my top 10 or whatever because of lyricism and things of that nature and how long I've been messing with him. But yeah, with Common, he would probably be right outside of my top 10. If not, it's like sneaking in at 10 or something like that.
Right.
As far as lyricists go.
Right. The funny thing is, I'm right with Veg. Tom would probably be will fall somewhere between 8 to 12 to me. You know what I'm saying? Again, just, you know, from doing this episode, I mean, keep in mind, I don't know how many of us hip hop heads actually read lyrics. You know, like if it wasn't for this show, I mean, this whole thing, and actually, like I'm in reading these lyrics, I'm seeing things in the song that I didn't really hear before. And it's kind of like when I hear instrumental, I'll be like, oh, I never even heard that part. Like that was instrumental because you're the person rhyming over it. I mean, I got Resurrection at 4 mics. I got One Day at 5 mics, Like Water at 4.5, B at 5 mics, Finding Forever at 4 mics, The Dream of the Believer at 4 mics. I mean, I don't know too many of any other rappers who can say that they've been around for 25 years, have 11 albums, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those albums are 4 mic or better. You know, really 4.5 or better. You know, in fact, this is gonna be something that I gotta do. I gotta redo my top 15.
I might have to do that too. Now that you said that, as far as the lyrics, I may have to go back and relook at some stuff my damn self.
Yeah, because I think Veg said it. Just like sitting here really looking at the words, I'm like, yo, these. I mean, Com has some stuff, so I would have to give him. He's somewhere in there, probably 8 to 12, because a lot of people haven't accomplished, you know, what he has. And I'm not talking about record sales or anything like that. I'm just talking about being able to sit here and say he's got at least 6 albums that are 4 mic or better than me, and 2 of them are 5 mics. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I gotta go with. But dope show, saluting Com while he's still here. You know, Com is one of the few people who has gotten the pass, and I forgive Electric Circus. I act like it doesn't even. He
said he forgive it like it did something to him.
I forgive it, no, bro. What Vegas just said,
like it did something to him.
Yeah, I do. I forgive him. It did do something to me. I wasted $16 on it. So
hey, I bought it too. So, hey.
But after what Vegas said, I almost forgive him even more. Yeah, because he almost ruined his career and didn't hit. So it's like, bruh. So what were you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say, you know, I know we talking about Electric Circus as like mostly a negative. As I said, you know, today it sounds a little bit better than I thought it did back then, especially from a production standpoint. But that is not the wackest album he's had. Universal Mind Control.
Yeah, UMC.
That's
the album.
Oh man, that was the joint with the Pharrell joint. They was trying to recreate the '80s joint.
You know what? I never even listened to that album. As soon as
I'm writing a note to email it to you.
Please don't. I got too much stuff.
Oh no, I'm gonna email it to you for the shit you ain't emailed.
I got too much.
That will replace ET. That's the album you forget.
My rotation now is like the Royal Rumble. It's like a battle royal. You gotta get kicked out of it because I'm telling you, when a new album comes out,
you gotta get thrown over the ropes.
So I was listening to Big Boy, but then when that voice bar exam came, that Big Boy got knocked right on out of that rotation. So that's how my rotation is.
I tweeted that one.
If you could last 2 weeks, you good to go. But that voice, I'm sorry, just knocked Big Boy knocked him right out the ring. So I didn't know about the universal mind control, but I forgave him for that. So
that John whack.
Oh man, Pharrell did the whole thing.
A solid portion of it.
I think he did.
He did about 90% of it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you right now.
The crazy.
Matter of fact, you know what? Mr. DJ from Outkast did something.
You rarely see Pharrell's name linked with something that he did 90% of, and it's whack.
Pharrell did a good portion of it. So Pharrell, the Neptunes, Ye,
DJ from Outkast,
Derek Dudley, Mike Chavez, and Mr. DJ.
Oh well. Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that album? The fact that because I mean, like, Kill, I know you do this type of shit all the time, but I don't. But this album's so whacked in me, I'm like, I gotta find an interview or something. I think I went to one of the hip hop sites, and you know, I messed with his reason for doing it, but the execution just wasn't there. He was just like, you know, everybody will give him respect for being a dope MC, but every time he come to the club, they ain't playing none of his shit.
And that's what that album was supposed to be.
That's what that album
Dang.
Yo.
Exactly. But lo and behold, niggas still ain't
don't
do that.
Because think about what he was trying to do at the time he was trying to do it. This album got released in 2008. Niggas was not trying to be dancing fast in the club. Niggas had fucking dance routines, wearing rainbow shoes to the club, trying to snap their toes off. It was he made the album at the wrong time.
Yo, before I forget, let me say this. Common also has one of my favorite quotes, which is so funny because me and him went back at it on OK Player for a minute. But if I don't like it, I don't like it. It don't mean that I'm hating. That's one of my favorite quotes. What are you saying, Nick?
You all went back and forth on OK Player?
Well, what it was is around the time when Electric Circus came out, and everybody was hating on it, and kind of jumped and was like, yo, I'm trying something different. Why y'all hate? And I was like, my brother, to quote you, if I don't like it, I don't like it. It don't mean that I'm hating.
Yo, you quoted him on his own shit.
I'm like, my brother, you can quote the humble, you know, Rashid Lodin Lynn, I swear he got a passing name, you know, Lonnie Lynn. If I don't like it, I don't like it. It don't mean that I'm hating. So we ain't hating on it.
Yo.
So another thing I used to always love about R.I.P. to his pops. I used to always love
Pops raps.
The funny thing again, going back to One Day It All Makes Sense, that was my favorite pop rap outro. I love the beat that No ID under it. Just how I thought it was always just an original and just a cool thing to do. You know what I mean? To have your pop come on and just talk his shit for however long he wanted to talk.
I definitely look forward to those.
Yeah. Is that the one where he was like, he feel like he want to kick Jesse Jackson's ass?
I think
that shit, I was like, yo, who the fuck is this? Crazy.
Yeah, but R.I.P. to Combs Pops. I used to always those joints, and it was fun because usually things get tiresome with me. Like with EPMD and Jane Part 28, it was like, yo, just leave it alone. Like, we're tired of the Janes. Just let it die. But I always look forward to Pops Raps.
Pops Raps,
Right, give them all your info, bro, where they can get at you,
man. You know what it is, man. Same old. At DJ Rec1 is my Twitter. IG is Worldwide Rec1.
All right, Nick, give them your stuff, bro.
Yeah, Twitter, only one way to win 79. That's only number 1, WYNN, number 2, 79.
All right, Veg, what's all your stuff, bro?
You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. You can check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, News and Perspectives at SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Podcast.
All right, and you already know what it is.
Podcast. My bad, I left it out.
All right, Hip Hop Now podcast. You already know what it is with me. Kill 889. We'll make beats for food. Before we go, real quick, can't let this go. I know my man Rec just moved to Houston. Y'all just got Chris Paul.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about this Chris Paul coming to Houston trade?
It's all right. I don't think it's gonna get them the chip. Shit, you're gonna have to go and get Melo and 4 other motherfuckers. But it's a good look. They just had to give up a good piece of their bench. They gave up Lou Will. They gave up Sam Decker. Yeah, they gave up Pat. They gave up.
Yeah.
They gave up Pat. Yeah, they traded like the whole crew. It feels like draft picks, cash. It's a good trade, but my question is there enough basketball for those two in the backcourt? Because you look at how James Harden had probably his best season ever as the point guard. Now you bring in the top point guard in the league, like top 2. If there's anybody else out there, I mean, I don't know who, but I'm gonna give him top 2. So now you bring in a point guard that has to be on the ball. You put Harden back off the ball, and that's where the problems was at in the first place. So I don't know, but I will have tickets to some games, so I will keep you posted.
The thing with me is that I'm just not used to shooting guard wanting a point guard to help save the day. Like people acting like this is the trade that's gonna do something better.
No, it's not.
Guard wanting a big man to come play with him.
Correct.
I want somebody shorter to come play with me and help me get over this hump.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, I feel you. Are you a Knicks fan, Vang? Or you done? You done with them, right?
I've been done since James Nolan took over, which is when he gave Allen Houston that bum ass contract, like 98 or whatever that was.
Also, Allen Houston's knees was falling off.
Yeah, when Sprewell was doing all the work, and Allen Houston got the money.
Yeah, Allen Houston got the $100 million contract, and Spree got pretty much the walking papers.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so you have no feelings about Phil getting fired.
Well, yeah, as a sports fan, I kind of do. I think it was the right thing because I think Phil Jackson was just doing what the fuck he wanted. He
Yes.
He did not care. He was just saying what he wanted. Probably building a book, to be honest.
You think? That's crazy.
You know, like, who wouldn't read it because he ain't tell you shit about what he was thinking this whole time. So, you know, he puts out a book, people gonna be like,
gonna buy it.
what the hell was Phil thinking when he went at him?
Yeah.
But yeah,
you couldn't turn down that money. That's too much.
No, they $60 million.
Exactly.
$60 million to lose.
He did what he wanted.
To lose. $60 million to lose.
Yeah, I always thought he just was trying to get fired. Like he was doing whatever it could possibly take so he could get fired, go back to LA.
These niggas ain't fired me yet.
Yeah, like yo, I still got a job. Like what I just said about Melo in the papers, I still got a job. Now I'm trying to trade for Zingas, and I still got a job. I got to set Master Street going on fire.
Oh man,
this job. He was trying to do that whole my man. Who was the dude, the assistant coach out in Golden State who's still getting a check from the Cavaliers?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
He's getting a check from the team he beat.
Yeah, I just want to get this money and go get Jeannie back. Like, I'm just trying to get my girl back. Y'all want me to be at press conferences and looking at draft. I'm asleep. I'm talking to Jeannie all night, man. We on 2 different man. Let me go home and So I think that was Phil's whole take on it. But just want to throw some sports in there real quick, y'all.
Oh, man.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man.
All right, man.